if I cross my legs? Hello? It's okay if I cross my legs?
Yes.
My brains don't work if I don't cross my legs. Please. Jananam sukadam maranam karunam milanam maduram smaranam karunam kalavashadiha sakalam karunam samayadhipate akilam karunam. Good afternoon. Yeah, I said good afternoon to all of you. Yeah, that's better. I thought you're not on talking terms with me already. Please.
Good evening, dear Christites, respected faculty, revered Father Vice Chancellor, revered Father Pro Vice Chancellor, Registrar, dear members of the Isha Foundation. Hearty greetings on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee celebrations of Christ deemed to be University. Investa Inquest, which is organized by the Department of Professional Studies, takes charge of a series of lectures by people of eminence. And today's talk by our dearest Sadhguru is one such. Sadhguru, we deem it our honor and privilege to have you amidst us today. On behalf of all our Christites present here today, our humble gratitude to you for sparing time with us.
No problem.
Without further ado, we would now focus on the question answer session. There were about 300 questions that came across to be answered by you, Sadhguru. And today's session shall see a few of them being answered. All of us Christites will be represented by myself, Rajat, from School of Law, Christ deemed to be University.
My name is Pooja N. I am from Department of Professional Studies.
Yeah,
My
you're
name
popular.
My name is Naina and I am from the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences.
The first question for today, Sadhguru. I, being a law student, give a lot of importance to the rights that I possess, which is basically the fundamental rights. That's what we're talking about here. So I think I should probably be allowed to sleep during classes because that comes under the purview of Article 21, right to life and liberty. But I also have a sense of responsibility that I should stay awake and focus on what is taught. So, how do we youth handle the rights and responsibilities? Or if I can say, how do we youth balance between rights and responsibilities?
If you're that unwell that you have to sleep during the day, you better be in a hospital, not in a college. There are rights. Of course, there are rights. But isn't it your right to become a full-fledged human being? Is it your right?
Certainly, yes.
And isn't it also your duty to be a full-fledged human being for the people who live around you, that you're not a constipated human being? Hello? Is it not? So you have rights and responsibilities. They're never separate. It's your right. But if you exercise your right, it should be beneficial to everybody. If your rights are detrimental to everybody, including yourself, and a young man wants to sleep during the day, I don't even sleep during the night most of the time. How come you want to sleep during the day? This means you want to avoid life. See, there is life and death, all right? When you're young, probably you never thought about it, but you better think about it because before you know what happened, you'll be dead one day. Yes. Most people think other people die. People open the newspaper and see those obituary columns, oh, these are all dying kind of people. I am an immortal kind. No, I'm reminding you, you and me will die. Well, in my experience, it feels like I was born day before yesterday, but see, in my experience, I still feel like it's just a few days ago I was born. But time goes by. So, what you call as life is the dynamic nature of a certain energy that we call as life. When it becomes static, we call it death. Yes? Sleep is just like death. Why you're going into sleep is just to bounce back with new vigor of life. Because if you don't go to sleep tonight, tomorrow morning you will become like this. But there is a way to deal with that also. If you manage your energies properly, if you manage your body and mind properly, these days I'm getting a little lazy, otherwise for over 25 years, I manage with just about 2.5 hours of sleep on an average. Today I'm sleeping anywhere between 4 to 4.5 hours a day. But if I did not sleep for 3 nights and 3 days, nobody can make out anything is wrong with me, I will be the same, doing all my activity as I am. Why I'm saying this is, what you call as life is the dynamism of this energy. What you call as death is static. Sleep is static, isn't it? Well, some amount of it is needed because rest is the basis of activity. But we are only resting to be active. We are not resting to rest. Then you will rest in peace. Even if you are… I don't know what is your sleep quota, being a lawyer. If you're sleeping 8 hours a day, let us say, safely, I can assume 8 hours. 8 hours a day, you're sleeping away 1/3 of your life. That is, if you live for 100 years, you actually lived only for 66 years. Rest you slept. If you came here to sleep, you can as well go to sleep, we can put you to sleep. What is the point? You came here to live, isn't it? Sleep is a small necessity, we have to take care of it. But have you come here to live or to sleep? You come here to live, that's only 7 people saying that. No, I didn't mean the college, I mean life. Maybe… you got a union? I don't know if there is a sleeping union because only 7 people said, I want to live. I'm not talking about the college or the university, I'm talking about your life. In this life, have you come to live and experience life in every possible way, or have you come here to sleep? Live. If you come here to live, sleep would naturally become minimal. Have you noticed on a particular day, when you're very happy, you're really happy, for some reason, I won't go into the reasons. For some reason you're very happy, that day if you don't eat much, if you don't sleep much, it doesn't matter at all. Have you noticed this? You're a little depressed, you want to sleep. So sleep is not a tendency. Because you have made your existence in some way burdensome, sleep is a relief from that burden. When life is burdensome, you want to sleep away. If life is exciting and you're joyful and ecstatic, you don't want to sleep. You definitely don't want to sleep on a day when you're very happy, isn't it? On a day you're miserable, you want to sleep. So you first fix this, don't try to fix the sleep. You become an exuberant, joyful, alive life. To what extent the body needs to sleep, it will sleep. You have a right to live, you have no right to sleep.
So the second question is, I often find myself in a situation where I'm not happy with myself. I compare my abilities, achievements, and even my appearance with that of others. Also, I think since I'm a humanities student, people around me constantly compare me with my other friends who have taken up medicine or engineering. And that really puts me off, and I think that's one reason for my low self-esteem. How do you think I can build up on my self-esteem and get rid of the self-hatred that I have?
Well, this self-esteem, this self-confidence, all these things, unfortunately, have been sold a lot on the planet. Why do you need esteem? Why do you need esteem? Esteem is because you want to be little one-up on somebody else all the time. Unfortunately, our education systems were made like this, right from kindergarten. Who is first, who is second, who is third? You want to be first. So, your sense of happiness is only when everybody is doing worse than you. What kind of life is that? Why are we structuring our lives like this, that if everybody is doing badly, I will feel great? I think it's sickness. Hello? You think it's joy or sickness, please tell me. If all of you are doing badly, I feel great because I am number one now. No, this should go. From an early age, unfortunately, this is being imposed upon a child's mind that you have to be on top of everybody else. This is like, I want you to just imagine if this happened to other creatures. Let's say it happened to the plants and trees and animals. If an ant wants to become like an elephant, that is going to be a terrible ant-elephant, isn't it? Suppose a mango tree wants to become like a coconut tree. It will be a horrible mango tree because with one branch like this, no mangoes will come out of this. A mango tree is like this, a coconut tree is like that. That's how it should be. This has happened because in so many ways, people have put these things into your mind, what is good, what is bad, what is high, what is low, what is up, what is down. Because of this, you have never paid attention to every aspect of life in the sense, maybe humanities people and lawyers and what are you? Huh? Oh, the accounting people. You never paid attention to these things. I spend a lot of time paying attention to all kinds of creatures, ants and grasshoppers and worms and everything. If you observe, let's say an ant, or let's pick up something little more than an ant, like a grasshopper, it's easier to see him. If you look at him carefully, whoever created this grasshopper has paid as much attention to a grasshopper as they have paid to this one. Please pay attention and see. When the source of creation has given equal attention to ant and you, who the hell are you to think an ant is a lowly creature and you are some superhuman being? Why are you making this judgment? Creation has not made this judgment. You may think you're superior simply because you're in a blatant manner, you're walking on this planet, but that's not true. The fact of the matter is like this. See, if all the worms on this planet, right now if all of them die, all the worms, in about 12 to 18 months, all life on this planet will cease, everything, including you and me. Suppose all the insects die today, in something like 2.5 to 4 years' time, all life will cease. But if all the human beings die, the planet will flourish. Yes, we make good manure. If human beings go away, right through this building, trees will grow, isn't it? Yes or no? Everything will flourish. So, who the hell is telling you that you are the most significant life? This idea that the cosmos is human-centric is a stupid idea. In this cosmos, even this solar system is a tiny speck. Tomorrow morning, if the entire solar system evaporates, nobody will notice it. That's how small it is. In that tiny speck, planet Earth is a microspeck. In that microspeck, Bengaluru is a super microspeck. In that, you are a very big person with great self-esteem. This is not a simple problem. People suffer this for their whole life without handling it. Essentially, it is just this. You have gotten yourself into a place where most human beings are in this place, you get yourself into a place where you cannot handle your own thought process and your emotion. That's all. You meet 50, 60-year-old people, they've still not figured how to handle their thought and emotion. These are basic faculties. When the hell are you going to learn how to use your thought and emotion? Suppose you're 20 years of age and you still don't know how to use your fingers, people will say you're handicapped, isn't it? You are whatever age you are and you still don't know how to use your thought and emotion, are you handicapped too? Hello? Are you or are you not? Yes. You are, you're crippling yourself. Why has this happened? Is simply because you have made unnatural divisions in the existence, which don't exist anywhere else except in human mind. Yes? Nowhere else does it exist except in human mind. Because you're a little girl, can I call you a little girl? Okay.
Yes, you can.
No, I'm telling you the boys, she's not a little girl for me, she's a little girl. So, when my daughter was growing up, she grew up with me traveling all over the place. When she was 3.5 months of age, she's traveling with me alone. I'm driving all over India with her in the strapped to the seat of the car. So, she grew up like this, and every day we're in some different family. People are wonderful, but there is a problem with the adults. The moment they see a child, they want to teach the child something that's not worked in their life. You should see, this urge is so compulsive. The moment they see a child, they have to teach, they have to teach. So I made one rule, see, you can play with her as much as you want, you can talk to her, but nobody is going to teach her anything. They said, Sadhguru, these girls but Sadhguru, she won't learn anything, ABC at least 1, 2, 3. I said, no 1, 2, 3. Then they said, she won't know how to count even her fingers. I don't care. If she doesn't know how to count her fingers, as long as she knows how to use her fingers, I don't care. She thinks she has 1,000,000 fingers, what's my problem? But they want to teach 1, 2, 3, ABC, Mary had a little lamb. I said, I don't care whether Mary had a lamb or no lamb. You're not going to teach her anything. So nobody taught her anything. She's all ears, everybody treated her… because if you have nothing to teach, you have to treat somebody like your equal. So she grew up. By the time she's 2.5, 3 years of age, she can speak in terms of remembering about 700 to 800 names, all adults. She thinks they're all her friends because everybody spoke to her like she's an adult. And I would not have sent her to school, but my schedule went totally crazy and I had to put her in some school. So when she was 12, 13 years of age, one day she came back home and something that happened at school disturbed her. So she came and came to me and said, "You're teaching everybody so many things, you're not telling me anything." I said, "See, I don't do it unsolicited. Now that you've come, just sit down. This is all you have to know. Never look up to anybody." She looked at me like this, "What about you?" kind of thing. I said, "Especially me, because the moment you look up to me, you will miss it completely. If you look at me just the way I am, there is a lot of value to it. If you look up to me, what will you do? Probably take my picture and nail it to your wall, like you nailed so many people who are of value in this world. You just look at me for what I am, don't look up to me, and never look down on anybody. This is all. Never look up to anything, never look down on anything. If you see everything just the way it is, everything has immense value. Everybody has a place and value to their life, isn't it? Every creature has value. Because we did not realize that, how many things we have destroyed in this world? Simply because we think this is valuable, this is not valuable. There is nothing here that is not valuable, everything has its value. Maybe you are not able to see it. So don't set yourself up like this, you versus the rest of the world. It's a bad competition to get into. You want to be number one on this planet. It's a horrible place. Everybody below you and you up. Is it a good place to be? I think it's a sick place. This attitude of wanting to be ahead of somebody needs to go. Well, for fun in a game or something you compete, that's different. Life is not a competition, life is not a race. If life is a race, you must get to the finish line soon. Hello? If you think life is a race, you must be at the finish line today, I can tell you how. You want to go there? No. This is not a race. This is a tremendous privilege that we have come as human beings. This means our ability to experience life is of a much larger proportion than any other creature on this planet. That is the significance of who we are, yes? We can experience life in many more vivid ways than how an ant can experience, how a grasshopper can experience, how somebody else can experience. This is our privilege. Instead of experiencing life, we are trying to win the race. If you win the race, you should be in the crematorium today. Hello? You don't need any self-esteem. In this culture, if you don't know this, there may be people with names like this, there will be one Ramadas, one Krishna Das, one whatever. What this means is people are consciously taking the name of being a slave, because a joyful, willing slave is a tremendous human being. Only somebody who's been enslaved by somebody is a different matter. But willingly, I'm willing to do whatever is needed in this world, is a wonderful slave, isn't it? I'm one.
And the next question is, I'm sure many of my friends will relate to this question. We find no purpose in what we are studying, and and we feel we are studying just for the sake of marks, and we feel most of the times we regret for the decisions that we have made. We feel like trapped sitting inside the classroom. We want to go outside, explore the world, learn and do a lot of things outside the classroom. But we are also scared. If not studies, what else to do? If not studies, what should we be doing in our life? How to get rid of this confusion?
Well, once you have made your education about marks, which again goes back to the previous question, you want to be ahead of somebody else. You want to be on top of the pile. Once you made it like this, you being miserable is natural. You should be. I would be very disappointed if you're not miserable. Because you are trying to see that how everybody is beneath you, you must be miserable. Education is about an opportunity to explore things that you may not meet on the street. If you want to be outside on the Bangalore streets, all you will meet is disordered traffic, okay? Whole totally disorganized traffic and terrible noise is all you will meet. At one time this was called a garden city, that's different. But education is about exploring those dimensions which you will not meet on the street. This does not mean you have not seen the street, of course you've seen the street, you have explored it, you did not find anything except plastic bags, filth, cigarette butts and this and that, you didn't find anything more than that, right? Hello? On the street. So that is why you came and sat in the class. But because you have chosen something which doesn't mean anything to you, you have chosen something because somebody told you, if you do this course, you will get a better job. Again, you want to be better than somebody, that's all. When you invest your life in doing something that you don't care for, in my opinion, you must be miserable. Otherwise, what is the point of making the choices? What is the point of investing our lives in something that matters to us? Because when we invest our life in something that matters to us, it may not be recognized by the world, you may not get good marks for it, but you are investing in your life to what really matters to you. Well, at this stage in your life, if you've not figured out what that is, it doesn't matter. All you have to learn right now is, we call this sadhana, okay? In the spiritual parlance, this is called sadhana. What sadhana means is, the word sadhana literally translates as a tool. So this is about sharpening your tools, learning to use your body as a tool, learning to use your intellect and mind as a tool, learning to use your emotion and energy as a tool. Everything that you have should become your tools. That means they take instructions from you and do things for you. Right now, if you say, I'm miserable, essentially, you can give it 1,000 reasons. Simply, the basic thing that's happening is your intelligence is turned against you, that's all. Hello? If you remove half your brain, you will sit peacefully. Yes or no? So the problem is intelligence. Your own intelligence has turned against you. Now you can call it misery, now you can call it depression, now you can call it all kinds of things. You can give as many exotic names as you want. Essentially, your intelligence is not your sadhana. That means, it is not in your hands to use it the way you want. It is turned against you. If you sit here, you're miserable by yourself. This means what? If you're with me and miserable, you can blame it on me, Sadhguru, it's because of you I'm miserable, I am okay. But if you sit here alone and you're miserable, you're obviously in bad company, isn't it? Hello? So, this is one thing you must address. Education is not just about learning. All this learning business will be useless and meaningless in the next 5 to 10 years. Once the machine learning comes, everything that you can learn in 20 years, one little gadget will know. Your phone can do 10 PhDs a day. That's what is going to happen in the next 5 to 10 years. Because we have been misunderstanding memory as intelligence. Everything that you can do with your memory, a machine will be able to do better than you. So education is not just about learning, education is about learning to use yourself, learning to use your body, your mind, your emotion, everything in a certain way. It's very important that you know how to remain focused on something that doesn't mean a damn thing to you. It's very important. See, people who'll say that they lack concentration, they fall in love with the neighborhood somebody. Oh, they're fully concentrated. So it's not that they lack concentration. They say, I don't have good memory. Show them a suspense thriller movie, every scene they will remember. So their memory is pretty good. Only thing is, they have not learnt to use their mind in such a way, it doesn't matter what, they can apply themselves. If that is not there, you will not make a headway with your life. all the time world will not be throwing the kind of ball that you want to hit. Do you understand? When you go and stand at the cricket pitch, they're not going to throw the ball, the kind of ball that you want to hit. They will throw that ball that you cannot hit. Yes or no? Only when you hit that ball that is difficult to hit, then people will say, you are fantastic. Otherwise, you'll be playing baby games all your life. I will do only what I like, I'll do only what I like. Where is the question? See, people come to me and say, Sadhguru, we want to do the spiritual sadhana. Sadhguru, what do I have to do to get enlightened? Oh, it's a big order. You do one thing, can you be here for 3 days? Sadhguru, a day after tomorrow evening, my uncle's daughter's niece, they're piercing her ears. I have to be there. Oh, you want to get enlightened? Uncle's daughter's niece, ears being pierced and you have to be there. All right, 2 days we have, you do this, this and this for these 2 days. Sadhguru, I don't like this. Okay, you do only what you like, you do one thing, write down things that you like and give me. Give me a sheet of paper and a pencil. I have never found anybody writing 3 or 4 things, maximum. In this entire cosmos, you like 4 things? Are you nuts? I mean, see, if I like only 2 people here and I don't like anybody else here, am I not kind of imprisoning myself? Hello? Am I not seriously constricting my life? I like only these 2 people, I don't like anybody else here. Is it a big, crippling of myself? Yes or no? So why do you decide what you like and what you don't like? Whatever the hell you have to do it with full on. Whatever, it doesn't matter, because this is not about learning. This is about learning to use yourself in the best possible way, learning to use your body, your mind, turning this into your tools, that you have the handle in your hands. Otherwise, if you leave it loose, this mind can cause you so much pain, you don't know. Right close by, there is Nimhans Institute. All of you should take a tour. No, not to laugh, it's not a laughing matter. You must take a tour of the mental institution. You must see the people, what kind of sufferings they go through. They were just normal people like you, few days ago or few years ago. Suddenly one day they'll flip. Because between sanity and insanity, the line is so thin. If you're sitting here and miserable by your own nature, are you not insane, I'm asking you? Hello? If your mind is out of control, then we call that insanity, isn't it? Hello? Is that insanity? Please sincerely tell me, in 24 hours' time, how many moments is your mind really in control? No, you don't have to go there, this institution is good enough for you. At this level of madness, this institution is good, that is why they're trying to train you. Now this is a time of your life where you learn how to use your mind the way you want. Not about what I like and don't like. Whatever is needed, I can do with my mind. This is your mind. Your mind does what it likes. This is not your mind, isn't it?
The next question is, there are times when we feel worn out. It might be because of the external pressure or emotional trauma that we are going through, or because of the lack of inner strength. In such a situation or such a circumstance, what do you think would help us get back our interest and enthusiasm in life?
Oh, worn out? How old are you? Can I ask how old are you? Okay. No, we won't tell you that. No, at this stage in your life, you should not be worn out for any reason. As you said, emotional trauma. So you need to understand this. These are all become regular words to be used in the society. People think they have a right to be stressed. See, if you say, I'm stressed out, I'm worn out, I'm tense about something, tension, stress, all this, people think it is their right. It is not your right. It is a great disaster that you're unfolding upon yourself. Because stress, anxiety, all these things means you just don't know how to manage your thought process and your emotion, isn't it? Or even your chemistry. To look at it in a very fundamental way. See, what you call as peacefulness, what you call as joyfulness, what you call as blissfulness, what you call as ecstasy, what you call as agony, what you call as misery, what you call as anxiety, what you call as stress, all these experiences of life, pleasant ones and unpleasant ones, all of them have a chemical basis to it, yes or no? There is a chemistry attached to it. Suppose you lose your peace today, what happens? First thing is you will snap at somebody who's at home, they always give the first dose. But people think it's natural, it's normal rather. Then you pick a quarrel with your neighbor, it goes on. Then on the street you will yell at somebody. Then you come here and shout at your professor. Now people know you need medical attention. The moment you start screaming in a place where it's going to have serious consequences for you, people know you need medical attention. If you go to your doctor, initially he tries to talk you out of it, usually it doesn't work. So the next thing is he will throw a pill into you. You take this little pill, you feel little peaceful. Not for good, at least for a period of time. It works in a limited way. What is this pill? Just a little bit of chemicals. If you put these chemicals, you're becoming peaceful. So what is peace? Certain kind of chemistry. What is joy? Another kind of chemistry. What is ecstasy? Another kind of chemistry. What is misery? Another kind of chemistry. Every human experience has a chemical basis to it. And now, this is the most sophisticated chemical factory on the planet. Do you agree with me? Most complex and sophisticated chemical factory on the planet is here. They say what is happening in a single molecule of DNA cannot be done in all the chemical factories on the planet put together. That much complex chemistry is happening. Now the question is only, are you a good manager of your chemical factory or are you a lousy manager? That's all the question is. Yes? If you manage a chemistry of blissfulness, people are always asking me, Sadhguru, how day in and day out with such variety of activity, how are you like this? I keep my factory is managed by me, not by my enemies. Your factory also must be managed by you, isn't it? If you manage this chemical factory, will you create chemistry of blissfulness or chemistry of stress, anxiety and other things?
Blissfulness.
That's your choice?
Yes.
Very nice. If that is your choice, I'm sure that is the choice for everybody when it comes to themselves. You may want something else for your neighbor. What you want for your neighbor may be debatable, but what you want for yourself is 100% clear, isn't it so? Hello? Highest level of pleasantness you want for this? Yes or no? Why such a simple thing is not happening? Simply because there is no sadhana. That means you have not turned the tools that have been given to you as your tools. See, we were trekking in… every year we are trekking in Tibet. So I'm in a tent, I'm doing some work, writing something. Another person is cutting an apple, and there's one more person in the tent, and that person tells this person, be careful, it's a very sharp knife. This irritates me, because I call something a knife only if it's sharp. If it is a child, I understand, you say these things. This is a full-grown man. Then I say, hey, leave him alone. He's a full-grown man. He should know bloody how to handle a knife of all the things, not some complicated machinery, just a knife. Leave him alone. No, Sadhguru, it's a very sharp knife. Say, I know it's sharp, that's why it's a knife, just leave him alone. Then I continue my work. Then quietly she whispers, be careful, it's a very sharp. And after 2 minutes, he cuts his hand. Then I say, okay. Why I'm telling you this is, we don't give a knife to a child's hand, not because a knife is dangerous, simply because a child's hand is not steady. He may harm himself or somebody else. Yes? Knife is not a dangerous instrument. The hand which holds it can become dangerous. Yes or no? Like, is a car or a motorcycle a dangerous thing? No, it's a wonderful thing. But so many people kill themselves. If you do one mistake, it will take your life. If you handle it right, it makes your life. If you don't handle it right, it takes your life. But the greatest instrument that you have in your life is your own body and your mind. If you don't handle it right, it will take your life, of course. So this is all you're saying. This is simply because right now our entire system of education is about how to fix the world, not about how to make this into a tremendous instrument in my life. How my body, my mind, my chemistry, my intelligence must work for me. Once these things don't work for you, you are a finished case. Do what you want. Once your intelligence is turned against you, no power in the universe can save you, isn't it so? Because enough work has not been done on it, no attention has been paid as to how this functions. You agree with me, this is the most sophisticated machine on the planet? Is it nap time for the law students? Hello? I'm asking for a higher opinion. Is it nap time? No. Is this the most sophisticated machine on the planet? Have you read the user's manual? Oh. When are you going to read it? Because in this society, people are telling you, you do all those things after 70 years of age. When you're no good for anything, then you read the user's manual. If you buy a phone, should you read the user's manual in the first 3 days or after 3 years when you're discarding the phone? Huh? Earliest possible time you must read if you want to make use of that instrument, isn't it? So this is what sadhana means. Sadhana means not doing something crazy. Sadhana means doing whatever it takes so that my body, my energy, my emotion, my thought is in my hands. If you gain mastery over your physical body, 15 to 20% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. If you take charge of your mind, 60 to 70% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. If you take charge of the very life energies that you have, 100% of your life and destiny will be in your hands. Young people should do this first before you mess with the world. Before you mess with the world, you must fix this, isn't it?
Sadhguru, just a follow-up question to that. In helplessness, many youngsters start thinking of taking the extreme step of ending their life. On this topic, many questions were asked. One of them is, many of my close friends are suicidal. What could I do to help them considering that?
Is it your friendship which is doing this?
No. This is the question that I got from the audience. This is one of the questions.
Oh. I thought you were quite a friend.
Okay. That person want to know that how can that person help her friends help her friends
get rid of this thought. And they don't want to do yoga.
That's a rider, huh? So, let's answer from this end. First of all, what is yoga? Well, right now unfortunately even in this country where it all began, people's idea of yoga is actually a rebound from the American coast. They think yoga means twisting yourself into various postures, impossible postures, that you should look like a leftover noodle. No, I want you to understand what yoga means. Yoga means union. Union means, see right now you're here, even you are breathing? Your friend also breathing? You think so? Okay. Of course you're eating food, drinking water. There are many other levels of transactions, but at least these very physical things you understand. Without this transaction, you cannot exist, isn't it so? Hello? So in a way, what this is telling you is, you're just a small creature, just a small pop-up. You have pop-ups on your phone screen which pop up and pop out. On this planet, you're just a pop-up and you will pop out. Yes. So you think you're an individual existence by yourself. No. If you lose connection with the atmosphere around you, you will die, isn't it? If you don't eat or drink, you will die. Not just that, every cell, every subatomic particle in this body is in transaction. If the transaction doesn't happen, you can't exist for a moment. But psychologically, you get yourself into such a cocoon that you think you are an individual existence all by yourself. Yoga means you consciously obliterate the boundaries of your individuality. Because if you do not consciously obliterate the boundaries of your individuality, then unknowingly your life is you versus the universe. It's a very… You must listen to me on this one, you can take my advice on this. It's a bad competition to get into. You versus the universe, definitely you will feel like dying. When you face such a big competition, it's not worth living, it'll become like that. So how people normally handle it is by obliterating it in unconscious ways a little bit. Somebody falls in love with somebody, suddenly they've opened up the boundaries of their individuality a little bit to somebody. The English expression of falling in love is a good expression because something of you has to fall. You can't rise in love, you can't fly in love, you can't climb in love, you have to fall in love. That means… that means something of you has to be stripped, something of you has to fall down. You have to make space for something else. Little bit of unconscious yoga you did. Does he still don't want to do yoga? So this longing to break the boundaries, if it finds very physical, basic expression, we call this sexuality. If it finds emotional expression, we call this a love affair. If it finds a mental expression, it gets labeled as ambition, conquest, or simply shopping. If it finds a conscious expression, we call it yoga. In your life, what do you think? Whatever you do in your life, is it better to do consciously or unconsciously? What do you think? Consciously. So if you do a conscious obliteration of your boundaries, you understand you are unnecessarily building a psychological structure where you're feeling trapped. If you consciously obliterate this is called yoga. If you obliterate it physically, it's called sex. If you obliterate it emotionally, it's called love. If you try to obliterate it mentally, it's called achievement, conquest, ambition, fulfillment, victory, these kind of things. But all those things, how long do they last? Momentarily, because it's unconscious. If you consciously obliterate the boundaries of your individuality, you can sit here like the universe with the same stability. Now, where do you want to die and go? Because anything that you did not make, you have no right to destroy, isn't it? Did you make this life? Hello? Did you make this life? Are you capable? No. Then how come? Your only problem is your mental structure has become a mess. You can easily unmess it. They must do yoga.
Hope they got the point.
But Sadhguru, a lot of us youth, how do we make time to it?